Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that every dollar, every coin, and every bank account had suddenly become worthless. No money, no prices, no salaries. How would the world survive? It sounds impossible, but thousands of years ago, humanity lived exactly like that. Money wasn't invented overnight. It wasn't created by kings or banks or governments. It was born from one simple problem. People couldn't trade fairly. And solving that problem changed human civilization forever. Thousands of years ago, there were no wallets, no cash, no credit cards. People survived by exchanging goods directly. A farmer traded wheat for meat. A fisherman traded fish for clothing. This system was called barter. At first, it worked, but as villages grew into cities, barter slowly became a nightmare. Imagine you have 10 chickens, but you need shoes. The shoemaker doesn't want chickens. He wants milk. Now you must first find someone willing to trade milk for chickens. Then trade the milk for shoes. One simple purchase could take days. Sometimes, it never happened at all. Trade became slow. Arguments became common. People needed something that everyone would accept. Something valuable, easy to carry, easy to count, easy to trust. Humanity was searching for the first real money, without even realizing it. The answer didn't come from gold, at least not at first. It came from something far more unexpected. And that's where our story truly begins. As trade became more difficult, people started searching for something that everyone would agree had value. They didn't know it yet, but they were about to create the first version of money. Different civilizations chose different forms of money. Along the coast, beautiful seashells became valuable because they were rare. In deserts, blocks of salt were worth more than gold in some places. In farming communities, cows and goats became symbols of wealth. The value wasn't in the object itself, it was in the trust people placed in it. But every system had a problem. Cows could get sick, shells could be stolen, salt could dissolve in water. None of these were perfect. Civilizations needed something stronger, easier to carry, and impossible to argue about. Then came one of the greatest inventions in economic history. People discovered that metals like copper, silver, and gold were durable, easy to divide, and difficult to destroy. These metals would soon become the foundation of a financial revolution. But who created the very first official coin? And how did a small, ancient kingdom change the world's economy forever? The answer begins in a forgotten land called Lydia. Around 600 BC, in the ancient Kingdom of Lydia, located in what is now modern-day Turkey, a revolutionary idea was born. Instead of trading random pieces of gold and silver, the government created officially stamped metal coins. Every coin had a guaranteed value. For the first time in history, people no longer had to argue about what money was worth. These coins were made from electrum, a rare natural mixture of gold and silver. Because each coin carried the king's official seal, everyone trusted its value. Trade became faster than ever before. Markets expanded, businesses grew, and for the first time, money united entire civilizations. Soon, the idea spread beyond Lydia. The Greeks adopted coins, then the Persians. Later, the Romans built one of the largest economies in history using standardized currency. Money was no longer just a tool for buying goods. It had become the engine of empires. As trade expanded across continents, wealth began flowing between nations. Massive trade routes connected Europe, Asia, and Africa. Gold and silver coins crossed deserts, mountains, and oceans. For the first time, money connected the world like never before. But even the world's greatest invention had a serious problem. Imagine carrying hundreds of heavy gold coins on a long journey. They could be stolen or lost forever. Merchants desperately needed something lighter, safer, and easier to carry. The solution would come from China, and it would completely change the future of money. By the 7th century, China's economy was booming. Merchants were traveling hundreds of miles, carrying bags filled with heavy copper coins. A successful trader often needed thousands of coins just to complete one journey. The weight wasn't just inconvenient, it was dangerous. To solve this problem, merchants began leaving their coins with trusted money keepers. In return, They received a simple piece of paper promising that their coins could be collected later. At first, these papers were just receipts, but something unexpected happened. People started accepting the receipts as payment instead of the coins themselves. During the Song Dynasty, the Chinese government officially recognized paper money. For the first time in history, a nation trusted paper instead of metal. Trade became faster, businesses expanded, and wealth moved across the country like never before. It was one of the greatest financial revolutions in human history. News of this incredible invention slowly spread across Asia and eventually reached Europe. At first, many people refused to believe that paper could have value. Gold and silver still dominated global trade, but history was about to prove them wrong. But if paper had no real value, why did people trust it? Who decided what it was worth? The answer would lead to the rise of powerful banks and eventually to the world's most influential currency, the US dollar.